Welcome to Thriving with Inattentive ADHD in the Workplace. I'm going to try my best to honor your time and energy so that you have the tools needed. If you follow us on our socials, you'll be able to get some extra surprise Easter eggs, even though it's nowhere near Easter. Where are you joining from today? Which city or country? It's always good to know where you are dialing in from to see how big the community really is reaching. Hi for all of you that are in the chat. Hi, Sam, Ahmed, Kat, Mary, Suzanne, Lena, Anna, Lydia, Isla, Caroline, Lisa, Alexandra, Susan, Paul, Isabel, Ali, and April. Thank you for joining. So far we have London, Amsterdam, Manchester, Highworth, Poole, Dorset, Midlands, West Yorkshire, Milan, Wirral, South Wales, more London, Bogota, North Wales, Winchester, West London, Milton Keynes, Leatherhead, Newcastle, Leeds, Halton, Shropshire, Dublin, Baird, London, Essex, Halton, East Sussex, Guildford, Scotland, Shrewsbury, Manchester. Amazing. Hi to you globally across the world, across the UK. Thank you so much for joining us. See you in the chat as well. I see Northumberland in the chat as well. Trinidad and Tobago. Paul. Hello, Leanne. Hello, Amber. Thank you so much for joining us today. Obviously, all of you are interested in this content, so it's great. Say hi to everyone in the chat. Fantastic for joining. I just want to give you a heads up. You're not here to be fixed. You're here to be equipped. I'm going to get through all the content because there's a lot there. I geeked out, hyper-focused, and put a lot of information in the slides. I'm going to send you, everyone that registered on Eventbrite, access to some goodies that will help to actually implement this. So remind me. Okay. So you understand your inattentive brain works at work, gain practical skills, and learn to advocate just a little bit. Let's begin. The first thing I want you to do is repeat after me. My brain is brilliant by design. My way of thinking adds value. Workplaces succeed when they include different minds. Again, we are equipping, not fixing here. I just want you to say done. If you have said this to yourself out loud in your head, say it matters because your brilliant mind is associated with high creativity, innovation, entrepreneurial strengths. 55% of adults, despite this, actually experience workplace performance challenges that are misunderstood as character flaws. We need to remember the truth. This simple thing is actually research. It's just science. Because dynamic attention, selective memory, strategic energy, that's not dysfunction, that's design. These are great things to have, traits to have. So I need you to remember that. Thank you all who have said they've done, they've repeated it back to themselves, they said it loud, said it in their head. Thank you. Natalie, Sarah, Paul, Judith, and everyone else. Thank you. Okay, we are moving on. Adults with ADHD have cognitive capacity and often a desire to excel but face systematic barriers in the environment. We're talking about how do we adjust the environments, because the environments currently are set for neurotypical executive function patterns. We need this reminder sometimes because it's the environment, not you. Adamu Patel in 2013 did this. All on the same page here, right? Fantastic. I want to tell you much more around this. I dislike the word consistency because it's not that I'm inconsistent. It's that there's energy fluctuation challenges. It's not that I like focus regulation challenges. Not that I'm careless. I've got working memory differences. I want you to own each and every single parts of these because this is what inattentive ADHD really is. It's about regulation, not your ability. It's not a lack of focus, not carelessness. It's not inconsistency. Somebody says, you just need to be more consistent. It's not about consistency. It's energy fluctuation. Thank you all. Anne-Marie, Elizabeth, Priya, Judith, Natalie, Fiona, Mary, Wendy. We're all in agreement, right? This is what we're shifting towards. This is what we're reminding ourselves of. The science is there. We're just literally agreeing with the science. It's science. I call it a disorder of performance, not knowledge. You can focus, but you can struggle to know where and when that focus goes. That's regulation. Just again, another reminder, if you've been called lazy, inconsistent, or not trying hard enough, that was an insight. That was ignorance by others of your neurology. This word lazy doesn't belong to you. This word's not trying hard enough. These phrases, they are incorrect, ignorant, yes, discriminative, because neurology-wise. Thank you, Ella. Okay, so we're going to continue. The workplace reality. Which of these shows up most for you at work? Select all of them that apply. Hopefully you can select all of them. It's giving the ability, or just choose the one that resonates more. What shows up for most of you at work? What was I doing? Moments, losing track of my tasks, struggling to start despite knowing what to do. Time doesn't always line up with reality. Hence this presentation. Missing key information in fast conversations. You're probably aware that I'm ADHD too. My speed is super fast. Hyper-focus on the wrong thing at the wrong time. Or all of the above and more. Couldn't fit on here. But you can see across the board, all of these apply. I just want you to take this in. You are in a community of shared experience. You are not alone in this. It's important me take that in. Working memory deficits means that manipulating information over short periods can lead to the experience of losing the thread mid-task. Again, it's neurology. That word again. Love it. Also, task initiation difficulties stem from impaired activation of the default mode network. So it's nothing to do with motivation or willpower. But everyone's saying, I'm not motivated. I don't just have the will or discipline. Task initiation. Let's use the correct language. Last but not least, time is different. Who here has experienced time blindness? Me, I'm putting my hands up. If that is something that you've experienced, put me in the chat. This is science. All of it. Or, yep. Watching a series, all of a sudden I've watched a whole series and I'm thinking it must have been time's gone by and it's nighttime. My whole day is gone. I'm doing a bit of work and all of a sudden got a meeting. Yeah, what is the time? Exactly, Anne-Marie. I want to get into more interactive stuff, but I'm loving all the comments in here. Struggling to start and get out of bed sometimes. Yeah. That singing my tune, Charlotte. Apparently the order of time explained that time isn't linear at all according to the latest understanding. Thank you, ND, for that. It's a nightmare at work. People think I do on purpose. People's ignorance. Remember we talked about neurology. This is all neuroscience, neurology, and temporal processing. These things, these traits are real. Every single thing you just voted for has a neurological basis. This isn't you failing. This is your brain working differently in environments that don't account for that difference. Facts in the chat. I've missed client appointments due to this. Yeah, Anne-Marie, me too. We're going to talk about that in a bit. We're going to talk about the element of what that means for us sometimes. Facts, yes. Every single thing you just voted for has a neurological basis. In the chat, you put facts. So I'm just going to go in the chat. We've got lots of facts. People are agreeing. Ronan says, I say that for neurodivergence, it's like having an Android, and for neurotypicals, it's like having an iOS. An app can only work on one system. Frenzy Dan, appreciate you. Thank you, Karen and Carmel and everyone else. We are literally shifting the narrative here. I'm a DC fan, also a Marvel fan. You might know this guy's a Joker, but this is not the villain. Today, never has been, never will be. I want you to take a breath and recognize this is the real villain. Shame and silence. We've got unidentified needs here. We blame ourselves. We struggle. Then we don't have support. And then we burn out and we miss out on things that are made for us. That's the real villain, not the Joker. The Joker is a hero. Controversial, I know. Heath Ledger was the best Joker. I agree. I've done it in 5 steps here. They lead onto each other. I want you in the comments to say true. Or which one you struggle with, put a number in there. Because sometimes it could be like, okay, got my needs that are identified. I know that I'm blaming myself, but I'm actually going to try to figure out something. I have support, maybe not the right support. Sometimes it's just missing some of this piece. But all I want you to recognize is that shame and silence doesn't help. There is nothing for you to be ashamed of. I want you to make that land. Okay, we have some great insights. Again, look in the community, look in the chat. You are all validating this experience. Alexandra, I see you. The fact that you've been told I don't need workplace assessment for ADHD me by manager, when you requested one, is on point wrong. That's not a thing. Perimenopause combined with ADHD, perfect storm. Yeah, I think Cody created something around perimenopause with ADHD recently. I think there might be a few things, resources that might help. But anyway, I digress. That's the real villain, shame and silence. I also want to tell you why we need to remove the shame and silence, right? Shame significantly predicts decrease of advocacy. You're less likely to advocate for yourself when you feel shamed. You basically shrink, which to me is not on. I want you to remind yourself when you feel shame or when you experience shame, you're almost dimming your light because you're not even able to self-advocate. We need to make sure that this is what's happening for us. Isla, thank you so much for sharing ADHD and hormones in women. Appreciate you. Keep encouraging each other. And Marine, Alexandra, amazing. Thank you always in the chat for being a community. I know you are. Another piece around this: depression, anxiety, and workplace withdrawal, and independent of ADHD symptoms. Just let this sink in. If you have this internalized stigma, you're more likely to experience depression, anxiety, and workplace withdrawal. Research, it's right there. It's in green and yellow. These were another reasons why we cannot subscribe to this. Imposter and shame is the enemy of progress and not reaching a full potential. Agreed, Judith. We know why it happens. We also know why we need to change the narrative. There's been research presented on it. But I want to also reiterate, it isn't a side effect. It's actively preventing you from getting the support that would help. We want to basically break that cycle of naming the pattern. In the comments, so that I know you are with me, I want you to use the word break. Your ex-partner, ex for a reason, Katrine. Put him in a bin. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, break. Put the word break in if we are ready to break cycles, because we are going to be naming the pattern. I see a lot of you are putting break. Amazing. We are breaking cycles, breaking generational cycles. You want to go there? We're doing that too. Let's do it. Break. Yes. Put it in the bin. Yes. Love it. Okay. So these are the 3 more common workplace challenges. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're naming the pattern. My focus shifting. Is it task initiation? Is it working memory? Is it processing speed? What is it? What's going on? What's happening right now? These are the 4 most common workplace challenges. I'm not saying there's a whole lot more. There is. But these are the 4 most common. I want you to take note and see what that pattern comes up for you. I'm going to take a breath here. We got 2, we got 4, we got 2 and 3. Yes, employees do need training to understand principles in neurodivergent individuals as well, being neuro-inclusive. Completely agree. Indeed, that's why exceptional individuals are collaborating with amazing associate trainers to help support that. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4. What numbers are we in the chat? We've got a lot of 1, 2, and 3s. We've got 4s. We've got 1 and 2s. We have all of them are getting me. Okay, yeah, 1, 2, 4. But the fact is, you're aware of it, right? Fantastic. 1, 2, and 4. 3 sometimes. 4. I hear you. I see you. I acknowledge you. So this is cognitive load. Trying harder will not work. Environmental accommodation and strategic support will. If the cognitive load is impacting you because of those 4 things or more, then forget the trying harder piece. Forget not doing your job, because you can do your job quite fine. Your environment needs to change. You need strategic support. What does that look like? Actually, just a reminder, I know I'm preaching to the choir here. These are your strengths. If you didn't remember them, you got hyper-focus when interested, creative problem-solving, pattern recognition, curiosity-driven learning, empathy and relationship building. These are just a few of the strengths, by the way. Just a few. You've got a plethora of them. I couldn't fit them all on the screen. If somebody forgot to tell you, this is why you're brilliant. Just saying. Strengths emerge with the right conditions. But if you're not seeing these strengths, are you in the right conditions? Are you in the right environment? The first thing I'm going to share with you is the momentum map. We're going to match tasks to your actual energy. When you have high energy, your priority levels of maybe do deep work, important decisions, challenging conversations. When you have low energy, perhaps it's better to do maintenance work like organizing, filing, tidying, resetting. The priorities, admins, emails, routines, follow-up. You can see where your priorities will shift depending on your energy levels. Remember, this is a regulation piece. This is around having momentum. I know everyone's very conscious of time in terms of we have to do certain things at certain times, but you succeed when your brain can, not when the clock can. Just going to leave this up here for a little bit. Lots of circadian rhythm variations, Journal of Attention Disorders speak. Bottom line is, the thing you need to remember, 45%, it varies across the day. Your energy fluctuates. Task performance improve when you self-select tasks, timing based on your perceived alertness rather than following fixed schedules. You're going to start to take a bit more ownership of your schedule. Can you put the word own, O-W-N, in the chat, just to know that you're going to be shifting that a bit more. I know it's hard sometimes, but actually your task performance improves significantly when you self-select task timings based on perceived alertness. Put own in the chat. Sleeping is so hard for you, right? You want to sleep when people are awake. Yeah. Different rhythms, circadian rhythms, and honoring that, Anna. That's where the magic happens. Thank you, Mary, ND, Kat, Wenda, Natalie, Paula, Anne-Marie, Leanne, Carmel, Sarah, Banja, Emma, Anna, and everyone else in the chat that's saying, I appreciate you and see you. Night owls, I see you. My energy fluctuates. Fluctuations aren't weaknesses. They're biological reality. Not making excuses. It's strategic resource management. Who here wants to be strategic with their management, resource management? I want you to say it with me. And once you've said it, I want you to put done in the chat. My energy fluctuations aren't weaknesses. They're biological reality. Planning around them isn't making excuses. Strategic resource management. Yeah, but done when you've said it out loud. Love the action takers in this community. Love it. Thank you so much for showing up for the community, but also yourself. Again, we're shifting that narrative. Hopefully you can pin this. When is your high energy focus time? Be honest, not aspirational. Okay, so far we have, it changes constantly. No reliable plan. Night out, everything after dark, afternoon, post lunch is my time, got late, come alive later. Even honoring what high energy, I don't have any. Mid-morning, 9 to 12, got peak performance. Can you see how even though you're ADHD and you've come in here with an inattentive ADHD traits, everyone different. When somebody says, this person's ADHD, why can't you shut it down? Shut that conversation down right now, because you can see here the proof is in the pudding. Literally, everyone's high energy focus time is so different. We've got some ones in the chat. We've got some fours. We've got running with the 5 a.m. club. We've got ones. We've got fives, early mornings. We've got 5 to 6. We have 2s and 5s. A crash of 3, 5, 6. Yeah, it varies, right? But recognizing where you land is such an important awareness piece. Just honor it. Honor your high energy focus time. Absolutely. It changes, right? And just want to acknowledge that it changes constantly. No real plan. And it's so different from people, which is what we just demonstrated here. Currently 68% show evening or highly variable patterns. So it's not consistent. Just again, backing up what we're seeing here. Research is there, already showing you exactly what you've already shared. Just in English, if you're even a focused person with ADHD, you're being asked to do your hardest cognitive work during your biological low performance window. Systemic mismatch. Fiona, I see you. 30-hour day. Whatever you voted, put that time block in your calendar right now as a focus zone protect. Actually do it and then type done here or in the chat. Whatever you voted, I know you said it's variable. So if it's variable, have where you are right now in terms of your energy levels, put in focus zone protect. That's all I need you to do. Go into the calendar and then when you've done it, say done. I want you to protect your time. Make it a reoccurring schedule. Focus zone protect. You can, because you can always do more in November, more in December. Make it a new way of being, where your energy levels depend on the sun, natural light, super important. So amazing. Okay, great. We've got a few done in the chats. Emma, see how I go low when I don't know how to say the name. Anna, Anne-Marie, Carmel, Judith, Fiona, Wenda, look in 2026 and start doing it. Thank you so much for taking that step. Protecting your focus zone. It's you basically creating a boundary. It's you basically saying, I am not available for everyone and everything. I need to do focus work. I focus protect Saturday to Sunday, done, amazing. Time zones. When are you not going to be available for regular client call? When are you available? When is your energy window? You can add it to your calendar to think about. Okay. Love the action. Try 2026. Okay. So you can use your natural high focus windows for impact tasks, set your energy for priority work, and schedule admin for lower energy times. Ask you, when does my brain actually work best? I wake up, I have since I was a child, at 6 a.m., sometimes at 5, and I'm just ready to go. And sometimes I try to put exercise in that time. Sometimes my brain's already going and I just need to get going with some work. It's just my energy patterns, my natural rhythm. I work with it rather than forcing it in a box. What's the biggest thing stopping you from thriving at work right now? Is it, I can't start tasks even when I know what to do? Is it interruption completely derails my day? I forget important information constantly. Shame stops me from asking for help. Hopefully we scratched that one out. I promise because I don't know my capacity. Everything feels urgent and overwhelming. Everything's important. Nothing's important, right? That's how it comes up. Choose which one resonates with you. Everything feels urgent and overwhelming, right? So far, I've seen 1, 3, and 7. I'm seeing biggest thing that stops me from thriving at work is being unsure about publishing certain webinars. Okay, yes. It's almost like analysis paralysis, right? Everything feels urgent and overwhelming. Okay. So we've got a mixture, but we're saying what's the biggest thing stopping thriving right now? Now you know it again. You're recognizing the pattern. You know how to move forward. Hopefully. There's a few things, right? If shame wins, these are the things that you can do. Every single one of these is a system solution. You're not failing, you're missing the system. We just need to find a system that works for you. Instead of, can you take a look? For example, communication clarity. We said, can you review these 3 items and confirm by 3 p.m.? Very specific. For, I didn't understand, say, can you summarize the next actions in 1 or 2 bullet points? We want to increase certainty, confidence, and performance. We want mutual success. Right, somebody says, have you got any thoughts about this? I'm going to know, I'm not quite sure where to start and begin. I was teaching a group yesterday. When it comes to communication, the more info you can give, the more specifics what you need from me, unless it's a FYI, the better. Swap some of the language pieces to get certainty, confidence, and increased performance. The other piece around this is that specific concrete communication reduces cognitive load by 40% compared to ambiguous instructions. Anytime somebody's ambiguous, you're like, I've got analysis paralysis now. I'm not sure what's going on. I need to answer 1,000 different questions. That's causing you cognitive load. That's making you so tired. If you're able to have specific concrete communication, you're able to save a lot of energy. If you're up for saving energy, put yes in the chat. Let's go into the chat. I don't know how to prioritize either. So you'll see some shared things here. Interruption of the worst, mostly meetings and calls. 23 minutes. Take 23 minutes for a neurotypical person to get back to what they was doing when they're interrupted. Because of the way that our neurodivergence presents, it can take even more. Another reason to put those boundaries in place. I also want to give you a heads up. It's not about disclosure. There are some great tools on our website around disclosure, and I think you can even get some support around disclosing, but you just want to articulate your needs for high performance. What helps me do my best work to deliver highest quality? Can we use a written recap for clarity? You don't need to disclose. Here's why. We've all had weird responses from when we disclose to people. Just ones that are just like, what did they say? Can I take that? Do I need to take you to court? All of these things, right? Bottom line is, disclosure in workplace settings has mixed outcomes. It's not consistent. In order for us to take ownership, I want you to own that you don't owe anyone your diagnosis. I do, however, deserve conditions that let me perform well. I don't owe anyone my diagnosis. I do deserve conditions that let me perform well. If you agree, say, yep, in the chat. You've actually said it out loud. I don't owe anyone my diagnosis. I do deserve conditions that let me perform well. In the chat, we've got yep, we've got true, we've got yep, yes. I agree. Yep, I don't owe anyone my diagnosis. I do deserve conditions that let me perform well. As long as it's on your terms, Alexandra, but you are not there to do the emotional labor of educating everyone. Just saying, because that takes a lot of energy as well. There's a thing called Google and exceptional individuals help support training that understanding, but it's not for you to educate everyone. But thank you for that. You can be open, but you don't owe diagnosis. It's a personal thing because everyone's treated differently from when they do disclose because of the intersex of how we present as well. Not every organization, not every company is going to treat us the same way. You don't owe anyone your diagnosis. You can share, but bottom line is you do deserve conditions that let you perform well. For example, Wendy said, I had to disclose I was nearly fired from my job. That is sad to read, and that shouldn't be happening. Just saying, when I say you don't owe anyone your diagnosis, because you've shared it, doesn't mean you owe it to them. You've done it from a place of advocacy, not from a place of, I owe them. Do you see the difference? Here's some small adjustments, major results. With time blindness, have visible timelines, alarms, meeting rushes. With slow info processing, you might want to do a pre-read. You want to pause in meetings with distractions. You might have headphones, quiet times. All of these things are helpful. And these are systems or support menu that you can implement and see if it works for you. Everyone's so different. Some things will work sometimes. But be prepared. The things that might work today may not work tomorrow. And that's okay. It's just part of the magic of ADHD. About interruptions. I already said it's about 23 minutes. Just to give you that background, Mark et al. 2008 wrote this around interruptions. When you have interruptions, I want you to name it, reset, and identify one tiny next step. Interruptions are detours, not failures. I got pulled away, take 20 seconds, and identify one tiny step. Will you give yourself that compassion to do that? If you will, say yes in the chat. Don't feel like it's a failure. Feel like it's more like a detour. It's a detour, not a failure. Have you got a challenge? When does it happen? What have you tried? We're actually going to ask the community to share the challenge, when does it happen, and what we've tried. We're going to workshop a few things to build customized solutions using some of today's framework, but also your own insight, because in community, we learn quicker. We was never meant to do this in isolation. If you can share the challenge, when it happens, what you've tried, we can support you as a community. Okay, so we've got scenarios in the chat. Let's see. Let's talk about this, Sam, and hopefully help. Napping but feeling horrendous guilt. How do we help Samantha remember not to have horrendous guilt? What are some techniques, reminders that we need to give to Samantha? Put it in the chat. Yes, just as a FYI, April will be at the end of the webinar, like 1 to 3, afternoon crash, napping but feel horrendous guilt. How do we make sure that there's no guilt? For me, I'm going to give you some things that I do. I remind myself that rest isn't something that I deserve. It's something I don't have to work for. It's to recover. Andy asked, what is the aim here? To not nap or to have it acceptable and not feel guilty? Resting when you have no energy can make you more productive for the rest of the day. Samantha works for themselves. You're not choosing to nap, Samantha. Your body is responding to a need. It's a need to restore your energy so you can actually work and maintain well-being. It's a need as much as breathing, eating, etc. Plan it in your diary as an appointment with yourself. Rest is a need. Love that. So you've got some really great tips here you can try. I'm just going to go get some fresh air, move the body, put in your face song, a bit of dancing. Got some really great tips here. Definitely feel like compassion is the word that kind of comes up. Samantha, what would it take to be compassionate about recognizing that this is a recharge, a reset, not a failure? Walk-in, some people have said, blocking out time, all of the things. Those are a few things, Samantha. Hopefully you can take something from those, but I definitely feel like this one is great ones to reflect on. I'm going to go back into the chat and see what else you are all saying, and then we will be closing down this session. Let me see. What have we got? Some of these we might not get to, but I am doing my best to go through the comments. Let's see. Judy talks about try mindfulness for attention, self-care, and focus. Samantha says, thank you all. See, community. Thanks so much. It's absolutely my body of 4 and the 6-year-old. You've helped, Samantha. Just being in community and sharing. Thank you, Samantha, for sharing. And thank you, community, for supporting Samantha. Other things. Let me know. I'm going to go to the comments. Yeah, the faith song piece. Dance like no one's watching, because no one's really watching. It does help to elevate your energy levels. Something easy win. Yes, you can get diagnosis for ADHD via work if they offer that. Yes, vagus nerve. If you want to feel safe, dancing and singing is one of the ways to do that as well. Thank you, Sophie. Thank you, Paul, and all the community. Remember to go onto our LinkedIn and talk about us, rave about us, share about what EI does, because that's the only way we're going to help more people get into community like this and come to our events. Thank you, Nathan, Priya, Sophie, all of you. Appreciate you all. April, who is our content person, will be editing this video so that you'll see it much more slick as well. Thank you, Fiona. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Andrea. You know what? This session wouldn't be nothing without all of you. So thank you. I really appreciate you all being here. It's been great to be here, all of you. Do watch out for our other events that are coming in 2026 because we are planning them and they are going to be juicy. Thank you, Mandy. Thank you, Elizabeth. So, man, community is great, right? Stay in community, honestly. I'll speak to you all soon. I wonder if there's a way to save these comments. That's my question. Okay. Thank you all. Bye. Take care all.